Hi, so this is Dhruv, and this is week 2 of the Devlog. So this week I worked mainly on the Colossus, which is this huge giant in the game. In order to take down the Colossus, you have to climb to various parts of it and destroy those parts, and then the Colossus will die. The Colossus mainly is there to help get some excitement into the game, first of all, but second of all, it's there to help you, the player, keep track of how far you've gotten, how far Eduardo has grown through the various things that you cook and through any items/weapons that you find. So on Monday and on Sunday, I worked a lot on fixing a lot of bugs, especially on Sunday. Unfortunately, John wants to combine Sunday and Monday, so my Sunday work is not going to be as important, but the Sunday work is kind of boring anyway. I worked mainly on fixing bugs. I fixed this bug with the jump, where you would just be on the ground falling in the falling animation, and you wouldn't be able to really do anything. I also fixed some bugs with the climbing, especially in the wall. But throughout the week, I was fixing a lot of bugs with climbing and with jumping because those things just never seem to go away. So hopefully that they're fixed now, but most likely I will continue doing that. And then on Monday, I started fixing the Colossus. I added the Colossus swinging, and I added a script to be able to move the camera and zoom out the camera during the Colossus animation.
So on Monday, when, I'm pretty sure Drew already complained, and Sunday, I worked on the cave. So we are deciding to include one of the Dark Realms, well, that's the fancy name of it, but of more traumatic times in the game, and that will be the cave. So I spent time drawing the cave, different creatures. I try to be as hipster and as different as possible. The result worked out much better than I thought. I finished about 95% of it at the end of the day.
So on Tuesday, I started working on the Colossus even more. I added a bar for when you're swinging so that you keep pressing space, and if you don't press it fast enough, you'll fall off. I also added more colliders to the rest of the Colossus so that it's easier to climb it.
On Tuesday, I worked on the jellyfish that happens in the cave, and I wanted the cave to be inhospitable but also lively, and the jellyfish was one of my way of testing the animation without drawing too much, so lazy maybe, not really sure. And I started working on the stab animation for when the bear climbs on top of the Colossus. I want the stab to be a little bit more natural, so you don't stand up and start stabbing, but you stab rather while you're climbing.
So on Wednesday, even more work into the Colossus. This time there was a bug for when you're on a ground platform on the Colossus, you won't stay on. So I fixed that. And then there was also a bug for when falling off, which actually still exists. So I'm probably going to have to iterate through that throughout the rest of the week.
So the next thing I had to do was finishing up the stab animation for the character. It was actually a lot harder than I thought. I had to do a lot of tricks in the actual Unity engine rather than through drawing because I probably failed or overlooked several things. After that, I started working on the last map that we will be trying to finish before January, which is the plains. And the plains is going to be very specific because this is where the Colossus fight will happen, and it's the biggest one. And it pays some homage to Neverending Night, so I wanted to make this plains the best map as possible.
So on Thursday, I started working on the Colossus again. This time I added a little bit more colliders. That's going to take a very, very long time. And then I also fixed some of the climb jump. So right now when you jump, it's very annoying to climb jump throughout the Colossus. But I made it so that when you jump, it'll actually jump to the right position. But it still needs a little bit more fixes.
Now, once the animation is drawn and placed, then I had to do a final cleanup for the climb stab animation. And I started working on the Colossus weak point. So during this day, I don't think I did really that much. I've been actually coordinating with my sister to see if she can write for us and, write better. And so that was actually what I've done. And I don't know if I have enough footage of it, so...
So on Thursday, I fixed up some of the jump climb. Now it actually jumps to the right position. It looks a little weird right now. The rotation seems to be off, but whatever. I'll probably fix it later with John once he gives me a new animation. The more annoying thing was that there was this problem with the detection of the ground, specifically on the Colossus, because I would be parenting the object in a certain way, which would make it so that it wouldn't be detecting the ground correctly, and that was really, really annoying to fix. It made it so that a lot of the code would break only specifically on the Colossus, and I figured out why this was happening at like 10 p.m. in the night, and I worked until 12 a.m. just trying to fix it, and finally I got it to work, and I'm so relieved that it finally works.
So as the week comes to an end, I started realizing that I finished the planes. I have all 4 maps finished. I have most of the animation drawn and the character drawn. There's starting to be a little bit less and less for me to do. Well, that's a lie. There's always things to do. So what I did was I started working on the portal, some cleanup animations, and also certain specific particles that we'll be using for each map. Oh, and I started working on the video editing just a little bit ahead of time now that I gotten used to what I have to do.
So on Saturday, I drove to John's house. I ate breakfast in the morning, cooked some breakfast, and then I drove, and the drive was so long. There was way too much traffic, and then even right before I got here, there was construction happening, so it took 20-30 minutes on a thing that should have taken 5. But regardless, I got to John's place. I didn't have that much time to work, but I did fix some more ground problems, and I also added the ability to jump down through platforms. So if you press down and then space, you can jump through platforms that you are on.
And then where are you going next?
Yeah, and then today I'm going to go play Smash with some of my friends. So that should be fun.
So during the last day of the week, I redid our title for Brave Eduardo because the original one was a little bit curved unevenly. So I wanted the curve to be perfect and the straight line to be perfect. It still looks a little bit weird, but it's fine. I think this looks a lot better than I expected it to be. Aside from that, I started working a lot more with my sister. She started writing for us. It's a lot of work. She actually wrote a whole new Bible for one of the religious cult thing that we want to. And my sister started experiencing how annoying it is to work with me. So, ha ha. But yeah. So overall, this second week has been very, very productive. Drew is mostly all of Drew's time have been taken up by the Colossus, and I had a lot of miscellaneous things to do, but all the maps are done, so now we're close to the cutoff point that we want to do before January 5th. And actually, we have a convention that we will be presenting in downtown LA on January 28th. I think it's called Game On, hosted by Anthony Deo. I'm not sure if that's his pronunciation. We actually completely forgot that the deadline is, this convention came up so quickly, so we got buckled down. Christmas break won't most likely be just Christmas, and we probably won't be taking any breaks, so we'll probably be working very, very hard until then. Yes. So, I'll see you guys next week, and we will keep this up. Oh, and happy holidays. I hope everyone had a great year, and we will see you guys next year. I think. No, there's one more before the next year.